Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Man, 2 teens charged in suspected hate crime at Toronto Hebrew School. Man accused in London, Ontario attack tells jury conspiracy theories warped his views. Canadians may soon be able to leave Gaza through Egypt, Global Affairs Canada. Police add patrols around GTA Jewish communities amid fierce safety concerns. Theft at Apple Store in Waterloo caught on video. 2 men arrested, third suspect still at large in Oshawa homicide. Truck with raised bed hits overpass closes lanes on GTA highway. Man, 2 teens charged in suspected hate crime at Toronto Hebrew School.
These were the headlines and let's jump right into the details.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister arrived in Tel Aviv on Friday for a visit to Israel and Jordan as escalating tensions have hundreds more Canadians asking for help to leave the region. Of particular concern are the 150 people with a connection to Canada inside the Gaza Strip, meaning Canadian citizens but also their foreign relatives and possibly permanent residents. Canada's top official for consular services says there might be a short window of time on Saturday afternoon for Canadians to cross the border into Egypt, but she said the situation remains volatile. We know this has been a terrible week for Canadians in Gaza. Julie Sunday, the Assistant Deputy Minister for Consular Security and Emergency Management at Global Affairs Canada, told reporters on Friday during a briefing on Parliament Hill. She said there are approximately 2,200 Canadian citizens and permanent residents in Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank who have asked for consular help in leaving the region. That includes 600 who sought help on Thursday night alone. Those requests came as Israel's military told about 1 million Palestinians to evacuate northern Gaza on Friday and head to the southern part of the sealed-off coastal enclave ahead of an expected ground invasion. The United Nations warned that would be impossible and potentially calamitous on a 24-hour deadline. In a nationally televised address on Friday, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to destroy Hamas as the army prepares for an expected ground invasion of the Gaza Strip. Sunday said Ottawa is still assessing how best to instruct Canadians in the territory. She noted that there is no guarantee a crossing that Egypt intends to open at the southern end of Gaza will end up being available. Meanwhile, military flights from Tel Aviv to Athens continued for Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and their families seeking to leave Israel, with the Canadian planes also transporting 28 Israelis from Greece back to their home country. The war sparked after Hamas conducted surprise attacks across the Israeli border from Gaza on Saturday has already claimed more than 2,800 lives on both sides. Sunday said there are 6,500 Canadians registered in Israel and another 485 in both Palestinian territories of the West Bank and Gaza. The Trudeau government has urged all parties to respect humanitarian laws and says Israel has a right to defend itself without specifying whether it agrees with the United Nations that Israel is violating international humanitarian law. Durham police have arrested 2 men and continue to look for a third suspect in connection with the homicide of a 22-year-old man who was found dead in a house fire in Oshawa last March. Police said their homicide unit, assisted by Peel Police, executed 2 warrants in Brampton and Oshawa on Thursday, resulting in the arrests of Ramesh Anthony and Kaydeen Urquhart Brown, both 22 years old. They have been charged with second-degree murder in death of Amar Javed. Police said Javed's dead body was discovered inside a residence on Court Street after a fire had broken out on the morning of March 6th. Homicide investigators are still searching for a third suspect who earlier this week was identified as 37-year-old Josh Bickle. He's wanted for second-degree murder. Police allege Bickle, who is also facing charges for violent assault and is required to wear an ankle monitoring bracelet, removed the device. The 37-year-old is known to frequent Tweed and Belleville areas and has ties to the Oshawa area and East Coast provinces, police said. They are urging Bickle to contact counsel and turn himself. The man accused of killing 4 members of a Muslim family in an alleged act of terrorism told a jury Friday that his mind was corrupted by online conspiracy theories and that he eventually developed a desire to engage in an act of violence. In his second day of testimony, Nathaniel Weltman told court that as his mental state deteriorated during the pandemic, he began consuming more online content that included unfounded conspiracies about COVID 19 and Muslims. The content started to warp my view of the world, he said. It was starting to cause the seething anger. The 22-year-old said he was always drawn to whatever was fringe and conspiracy related, but didn't initially identify with a lot of the content he was viewing. On the stand in the Windsor, Ontario courtroom, where the trial is taking place, Waldman has been detailing what he described as a process of mental decline that started when he began spending a lot of time on internet in the early months of pandemic. As time went on and after two aborted attempts to end his life in March 2021, Waldman said things changed. Waldman said his suicidal ideation suddenly morphed into something else. I decided to engage in an act of violence and avenge these things that I was seeing, he said, referring to extreme right websites carrying baseless conspiracy theories about Muslims. Waldman is accused of deliberately hitting the Awaz family with his truck in June 2021 while they were out for a walk in London, Ontario. There is a heightened police presence around the GTA this morning, a day after Toronto police said that they would be boosting their visibility around the community in the wake of online global threats related to Israel-Hamas war. At a news conference Thursday, Toronto Police Chief Myron Dimkew said that there are no specific threats within Toronto, but that the war has shaken the sense of security in the local community. 3 male suspects were arrested outside of a Jewish high school in North York on Thursday, hours after the chief spoke after allegedly showing up to the school making threats and refusing to leave. Police responded quickly, and there were no injuries involved. The school reopened Friday, with police keeping a watchful eye. Toronto police announced charges Friday against a man and 2 teens in connection with the incident. Demkew said Thursday that all members of the community deserve to feel safe. He said there will be a heightened police presence around the Jewish and Palestinian communities in response to the situation. 2 command posts have been set up in Toronto's Jewish community, one at Bathurst and Lawrence and the other at Bathurst and Glencrane. York Regional Police also set up a command post at the Promenade Shopping Centre in Thornhill. York Regional Police have also said that there is no credible threat to the region, but they have nonetheless stepped up patrols around synagogues, mosques, schools, and gathering places as well. The security concerns come after almost a full week of brutal fighting between Israel and Hamas, which started with a surprise attack on Israeli citizens. Nearly 1,300 Israelis were slaughtered after hundreds of Hamas fighters broke through a separation fence between Israel and Gaza, executing families in their homes and taking aim at concert-goers at a music festival. 3 Canadians have so far been confirmed dead as well. Hamas also took around 130 Israelis hostage, including children and elderly people. Israel has responded with devastating airstrikes and has cut off water and electricity to Gaza, saying they won't be turned back on until the hostages are returned. Aid groups are now sounding concern about an unfolding humanitarian crisis there. Canada's federal, provincial, and territorial public safety ministers issued a joint statement Friday saying that there is no place for supporting terrorism in Canada. Police in Waterloo have released a security video showing the moment when 8 suspects ransacked an Apple store stealing merchandise, including iPhones. The video released on Thursday shows the suspects wearing masks walking into the store at Conestoga Mall and grabbing all the devices on display tables within 30 seconds. The theft occurred on October 10th at around 8:30 p.m. Police said no one was physically injured in the incident. Police initially released images from the security video on Wednesday, asking for the public's help identifying them. No descriptions have been released. It is unclear how many devices were stolen. According to Apple news site 9to5Mag, the California tech company has anti-theft measures on its display devices, rendering them useless when they are out of the range of the store's Wi-Fi. Multiple highway lanes have been closed after a dump truck with a raised bin crashed into a bridge in Markham early Friday morning. Ontario Provincial Police say the truck was traveling south on Highway 404 around 1 a.m. when it struck the overpass on Highway 407. In photos uploaded to Twitter, the bin of the truck can be seen badly damaged. Police say the driver was not injured. Police have not indicated whether the driver will face charges. The bridge sustained some damage, according to police, but engineers have since deemed it structurally safe. Police reminded drivers Friday to make sure they check the outside of their vehicles before departing. Circle checks are very important, OPP Constable Timothy Danas said in a video posted to Twitter. Take a few moments to walk around your vehicle before you depart. Lanes in the area will be blocked for the next few hours, the OPP said. A man and two teenagers are facing charges after allegedly making threats to a Toronto Hebrew school on Thursday, an incident that is being investigated as a hate crime. In a news release issued on Friday, police announced that they had laid charges in the incident that occurred at Tannenbaum Community Hebrew Academy of Toronto shortly after 12:30 p.m. Police said 3 people attended the school and were shortly asked to leave by security. As they were leaving, they passed a group of Jewish students, and one of the suspects allegedly made threatening remarks. Officers arrived and later located and apprehended the 3 suspects. On Friday, police identified the suspects as 20-year-old Ian Bodak, a 17-year-old boy, and a 14-year-old boy. The names of the teenagers are not being released under the terms of Youth Criminal Justice Act. All 3 have been charged with uttering threats, property damage, uttering threats, death or bodily harm, intimidation by threats of violence, and mischief, interference with enjoyment of property. The suspects were scheduled to appear in Toronto bail court on Friday morning. The arrests come amid heightened police presence around Jewish and Palestinian communities, as well as other places of worship in the Greater Toronto area in response to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas that has claimed the lives of thousands of civilians. The school reopened on Friday with officers on patrol around the property.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.